Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC and another edition of TNFNU thoughts and feelings and updates. So it's been kind of a crazy week. It's been a really long week. Are you guys like, I am very routine oriented. So are you guys routine oriented? Because I started this week off my routine, and it kind of threw the rest of the week off. I started this week, I did my civic duty and I showed up for jury duty, and it turned out to be a 10.5-hour day sitting and listening to this case. My number got picked to come to a case along with 50 people or 49 other people, and we all sat in this room and listened to everything going on, and it was kind of crazy. And it was just a long day, and it was going to be a 7-day trial, and I didn't want to be any part of that. So I pled my case. I said a couple things, and luckily, thank goodness, I was not picked to be part of that jury. But it was a long day, and it took a lot out of me that day. I did the video. You guys probably saw my reaction. I was very happy and relieved to not have to do that. I was very anxious about having to do that because it was a couple things. It was like, well, I want to be home and I want to be able to film some stuff for my channel, and I need to be able to make the knives, and if I'm going to be stuck there, then I'm not going to have time to get all this stuff done. Plus, there's not really things I need to get done at my job, but they need me there too. But anyway, it's been a long week, and luckily I wasn't chosen for that, and I moved on, and I was able to finish off the week strong. And then I've been getting some content done and content out, which has been kind of fallen on its face, to be honest with you. It's just kind of weird how some of the videos I've been doing have been kind of falling on their face about like all the folders and stuff that I've been doing. I haven't been getting a lot of views on those, and I'm kind of confused on that because I think some of the stuff that I'm sharing is pretty awesome. But I don't know. So I want to talk to you guys about that because someone sent me in a hinder. And I touched a little bit about this when I had the hinder, because when you get a quality made blade in your hands and you get to feel it, it's hard to put into words what that feels like for me. And when you have that blade in your hand and you deploy it and then you fold it and you're holding it, everything changes in your perspective. And then it becomes very hard to go back to, I don't want to say cheaper, but a more budget-friendly blade in less than superior materials, if that makes sense. And then, I don't know. And I'm not just talking blade steel. This is beyond blade steel. This is just build quality. Not blade steel. This is build quality. And then that makes me really look at my collection. I have a bunch of blades sitting here on the table that I have shared in my unboxing when I unboxed these to begin with, but I'm still getting around to doing reviews on all of them. So you have things like this Hinder half track. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You get this in your hand, and there's just something about the feel, the way it feels in your hand, the way it was built, that it makes me start to question the things that I have in my collection. And I was warned about this. that when you start collecting, you reach that point where you start looking at your collection, you start going, maybe I want something different. Maybe I want something a little higher quality, a little bit better. And you're willing to spend that extra money. Now, that being said, I don't have that kind of money. I don't have the money to be able to afford that knife. I don't have the money, definitely don't have the money to afford that knife, which I would love to afford that knife. But I and you guys know I'm a small knife guy, but gosh, just there's just something about getting that in your hand and feeling the quality and feel what went into making this. This wasn't just some giant factory with robots or whatever else. This was just a couple people CCing some machines out, and just so good. And it makes it very difficult to then go back and look at your collection and be satisfied with what you have. So I get to the point looking at my collection and I'm like, what can I sell? What can I let go of that maybe I can save some more money and afford something like that? So you start getting to the point where it's quality over quantity. Maybe you get, oh gosh, that noise. Can you guys hear that? I didn't get it good, that one. What is going on with my light? Hold on. Oh, can you guys hear that? You start looking at quality over quantity. I don't know why my light is flickering. What are you doing? Hold on. What is it doing? I got a light show going on. There we go. Okay. I got a new dimmer switch for the light. It doesn't like it. But you start to look at a knife like this, and you know the cost of that. Oh, it's so good. And then you start to think, I want that. I need that in my life. How can I get there? So you start selling off some of your other stuff so you can afford some of the more expensive things. Now, currently, the most expensive knife I have in my collection is the WE-. And it's a fantastic blade, very good quality. It's a really, really good. Now, that's an expensive knife for me. Is it even close to this? No, it's not even getting close to that. That's my problem. Is it getting close to this? No, nowhere even close to that. That's my problem. Hoback Sumo. I should probably tell you what it is. The Hinder half track, I already said that. The McNeese PM. Oh, so good. And the Winter Bladeworks Factor so far. It's amazing to be able to experience blades like that, but then it makes you want them, and then you got to figure out ways to do it. So that WE- is the most expensive knife. That was a grail for me. These are like, the reason I don't know a lot about these, I know what they are, but it's because they're so far off what I can afford and what I can possibly do that I don't even pay attention to it, because it's not even a dream. It's like, I don't know, it's something unachievable. I don't think I would ever be able to afford one of these. because the cost of this blade, and I don't know what exactly they're running. I have an idea, but the cost of that, what else can I do with that money? I could turn that money and I could buy a lot more equipment for the shop. I could take it, buy materials for the shop. I could put it towards bills for the house. I could put it towards so many other things that I choose to do instead of, well, I'm gonna have this knife just because it's really, really good. And that's where I have a lot of issues. And I'm trying, but I think I'm gonna start looking at my collection, which I'm gonna talk to you guys about here in a second, and seeing what I can let go. And maybe I can raise some money and get something really cool. I don't know what that is, but that would be really cool to do. So speaking of my collection, I posted a poll on my community page here on YouTube, and it's gotten 24, 25 votes, which is pretty cool. And unanimously, you guys want to see my collection. Now, with that being said, and everything I've said so far in this video, it's not an extravagant collection. I have some antique stuff, including the stuff behind me. I have some budget stuff. I have a lot of budget stuff. I have stuff like Civivi Elementums and a lot of that kind of stuff. That 50 to 150 price range, I'm very comfortable in that price range. You know, something like that was the most expensive knife I had in my collection for a while. And you would think, well, it's just a pair of 3. That's kind of an expensive knife for some people. But, you know, but I want to show you guys it. So I'm throwing that out there because I don't want people to get like, ooh, he's going to have this really cool collection. I have a pretty good collection, maybe not as cool as some of you. Obviously, some of you have really good taste and have a really good collection, because if you're sending me this kind of stuff, my collection looks like nothing. But I do want to share with you guys that, so I'm trying to think how I'm going to do it. I've done it before. It ended up being like a 7-part video of me sharing. Like, I can share some of my antique stuff first, share some of my grandfather's bayonets and some blades he brought back from the Philippines during the Korean War, which is what these guys are. I can share some of my first blades that I made. I could share some of my little antique blades that I have on the wall in front of me. And then I can start sharing with you guys some more stuff. Some of my first stuff that I ever got. Some of the gifts that I've gotten from people, and like my family. And it's some things are like simple, like, where did you start? Well, you know, that was a really cool knife when I first started. The Kershaw Scallion? No, Chive? Scallion. So, yeah, I thought that was really cool. And it is a really nice knife. It's assisted, tip down carry. But it was a cool knife. And it still is a cool knife. But so, you know, I'll go through the collection. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that, though. Because once I'm done sharing, like, antiques and gifts and that kind of stuff, I don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to be like, because I can't do, like, the budget, because they're all kind of budget. That 50 to 150, we're all over the place. So I'll organize it and try to figure that out for you guys to share that with you. But that's just something to look forward to, me sharing with you my collection. So we'll do that. Recently, somebody came over to see some of the stuff I have in this room, but the bulk of my collection is not in this room, it's inside. So I keep the bulk of my collection in my closet. So when I'm getting ready in the morning, all my knives are there. I can just grab something and go. So I'll share a picture of that. I have done it before, but I'll share a picture of what that looks like in the video and talk a little bit about it, just so you guys can see kind of what overall that looks like, although there's knives squared away in different places, and I'll probably forget a couple as we go through it all, but that's all right. But the orange rock hopper, somebody bought the orange rock hopper, and they were local. So he came by and was offered to pick it up. He was like, I'll just come by and pick it up if it's okay with you. And I was cool with that. And when I used to sell snakes, people would come over here all the time when this room was full of snakes, and they would come over and we'd talk snakes. And it was the same deal. He came over, he saw how small my shop actually is, which he made the comment of. He's like, wow, this looks so much bigger on your videos. And I'm like, it's small. I told you. And then he came into this room and got to see the stuff in this room. And it's fun. It's fun to bring somebody over, talk knives. You guys get to see, I've shared everything about this room, but when you get to see it in person, it's probably a lot smaller than what you think it is. And then the other side is a mess because, I don't know. It's just a mess. Work in progress, I'll say that. But it's fun. People come over, and I get to share. You guys get to actually see what it looks like, and you're probably not that impressed, but you can see what I'm making, and then I guess you could be impressed that way. I don't know, but that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I'm doing really well with the blades for September. The 3 AEB are at Peters. They haven't done anything with them yet. They basically have them in receiving still. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow they'll start doing something on those 3. But Blade Show is coming up, so a lot of people send. I think that's some of the problem is whenever there's a Blade Show, they get backed up because I send 3 knives, but people are sending hundreds of knives to get heat treated. So my 3 knives kind of get put on the back burner, which, whatever. It's kind of stinky for me, but hopefully they'll get done. It is only the 12th of September as I'm filming this, so hopefully they'll get done. The 280 CRV2 though, I actually quenched and got the first cycle of temper done today. So the gargoyle and the thorn have both now had 1 cycle of heat treat or 1 cycle of tempering, and they were quenched, which I have a video I've been working on these, and I was actually able to do something new with that video, but I guess you'll have to wait and see what that is when that video comes out. So it's gonna be fun. So I have the thorn and I have the gargoyle. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna do the second temper, and then during the live stream I'm gonna be cleaning these guys up, getting them ready for handles. Maybe I'll do some etching. I have never done live etching on the channel before. It's really not that exciting, but maybe it is for you. Maybe we'll try it. The problem is I'm usually set up out there in the shop, and then I gotta move in here because I do the etching right next to me where I am. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works. So that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm hoping to get these 2 done in the next week or so. Definitely by next Friday. Once I get these blades cleaned up and I can start handles, they're gonna go pretty quick. And hopefully I'll get them done pretty soon. That would be pretty amazing. And then I can wait for the stainless to come back. Because maybe I'll get started on October. So October is going to be skeletonized month. So I'm doing naked columns, and I'm doing the mini gargoyles, which are all skeletonized. So there's going to be 3 naked columns, 3 mini gargoyles, and I think I'm going to just do 3 and 3 and have a good time doing that. So look forward to the month of skeletons for October. That'll be pretty fun. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on. let me guys know your thoughts on that. Do you find yourself at that part in your collection where if you get to handle something that's really good, that all of a sudden you start looking at your collection and you're like, I'm not happy with this. I could do better. Because, you know, there are things that you can experience like this that really make you go, maybe I need to get some of that in my life. Because this one has converted me to a bigger knife. That one right there. This one, and then that one is, this one I need in my life. I need more of that in my life, but I need to stop. I am gonna have a hard time sending this magic bag back to you. I'm just telling you right now, but it's gonna come. So all right guys, I've rambled on long enough. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. That choice is always yours.